Alrighty, g'day YouTube. So what have I been doing this weekend? Bit of training, bit of riding obviously, and here we are on Mount Gravatt. So this is, I've done videos on this before. This is a 2k climb. Let's have a look here. So let's just pop that about there. So this is a 2k climb. Just Tim and I on this one today. Mark and Alf went and did 100k out. I was going to go out and do that today, but we had a big storm last night and the roads were all wet this morning, and couldn't be bothered with getting the bike dirty. So not sure how they went, whether they got wet or not. I don't think they did. I don't think a major, they might have got back before the rain, I don't know, but we got a little bit wet on here towards the end, towards I think the last climb we were doing. It did rain a bit, not majorly heavy, but rained a little bit. But anyway, all up, did 7 repeats of the hill. This is a 2k climb, and we're on the mountain bikes. As you can see, there's Tim's bike there. And today what I decided to do was just work cardio. Now I don't have my power meter, that's why there's no data there on the power meter indicator. So I was running just on my heart rate. So I had the heart rate strap on and just running on heart rate. So what I wanted to do was just keep it between 140 and 150 beats per minute on each of the climbs, except for this one. This one I followed Tim up on. So obviously I went a bit hard. I think I maxed out at about 173 or something on this particular climb, but that's all right. That was okay. But the target was, instead of, because I wanted to really get 4.5 hours in on the bike today, but it would have been 4.5 hours more at a zone 2, so a little bit steadier. Whereas this, all up, I think we did 900 and something meters. Let me just have a quick look on Strava. Let me have a look here. So we did, I think it was just under 2 hours of climbing we did. Let's just have a quick. So did 31 k's altogether, hour and 53 minutes, 972 meters of climbing, and the average heart rate was 132, maxed out at 173. So that was good. That's what I wanted to do. I figured if I wasn't doing a zone 2 ride, keeping it steady, I'd go out and just do some hill repeats on the mountain bike and try and keep my heart rate elevated. So between that 140 and 150, as I say, apart from this climb here, I'm up to what, 160 now. I think I get up to about 170 towards the end, but I thought this time I'm going to try and hold on to Tim. So the aim was, I think I did a video on this the other day where I held him. We were on the road bikes. I held him to about this point now, probably another few hundred meters, and then I dropped off the back. Now I wanted to get to the water tank. If I'd have got to the water tank, it just levels off enough there to give your legs a little bit, split second of recovery. It's just a split second of recovery. It's not majorly level. There goes a little roadie, look. Goes to show how much quicker they are on the road bikes. But if I'd have made it to the water tower, I'm sure I could have hung on to him the other day on the road bike. But anyway, this time I do make it to the water tower and I do hang on to him all the way up to the top. And it's hard work on the mountain bikes. Don't forget, we've got those big knobbly chunky tyres on there. They're obviously a lot heavier. Gearing's different. You're in a different position on the bike as well. I'm not set up, I haven't had a bike fit on this particular mountain bike I'm using. Tim's out the saddle again, giving another effort. So again, I'm having to put a boot in here and give it some. The heart rate's going up again, so I haven't had a bike fit on this, so it's nowhere near as comfortable as my road bike, but I think the other day I was pretty well fatigued, but I figure this time I'm just going to dig in and get to that water tank, and it's just coming up now around this little bend, and once I see that, I know then I'm pretty okay to hang on for the rest of it, which is good. So all up, it was a good session, a couple of hours of just hill climbing today. As I say, I really wanted to get that 4.5 hour ride in, so as I got my, I think I had 10 hours all together that I wanted to ride this week, but due to rain I just couldn't. And I didn't want to go today and sit on the trainer, on the indoor trainer for 4.5 hours, so that's why we decided to get out on the mountain bikes and go and do some repeats. So all up did 7 of these, and it was a good little session, you know, and I kept that heart rate up there, which was the main thing. That's what I wanted to do, because I don't have the power meter on. I just figured I'd work to my heart rate today, and that's the one good thing. If you don't have a power meter, we've said before, you know, what's the best way to train and all the rest of it. I still personally think the power meter is the best way to train, okay? But if you don't have one, and you want to train heart rate, it's good on a climb like this, 2Ks or more, because you get yourself into that rhythm, you get your heart rate elevated, and then you can hold it in them zones, in the zone that you want. Whereas if you're out on the flatter stuff, you know, and you're working to heart rate, you got traffic lights that you come to, you're slowing down slightly, so you're easing off, islands that you're slowing down for, a bit of drafting behind your mates, you know, slight undulations where the road might level out a little bit, you're not quite working as hard, and then your heart rate comes down a bit, and it takes a bit of time to get back up there. So doing it on a hill like this is great, because you can get your heart rate in the first 200 meters, you can get your heart rate to whatever zone you want, and then you can just hold it there. And that's why if I'm working heart rate on the mountain bike, I prefer doing it on a longish sort of hill climb like this, just purely because you can hold it in your zones. I mean, I'm way out of my zone here. I'm up at, I don't know, over 95% I guess now. My max is 178, so I'm at 172 now, and this was hurting, trust me, this was hurting, hanging on here. It's a big heavy mountain bike, you know, that we're lugging up there, big knobbly tyres and that, so completely different to the road bike. But it was good fun. All up, it was a good training session, so glad I went out there. Yesterday we did about a 60k at around zone 2, so keeping the training on track at the minute, just trying to fit in. We're all just different stages now, the 4 of us, just trying to fit the training in as best we can around our busy lives and work and all the rest of it. So we're just all trying to juggle it around and get in what we can, you know. But anyway, that is about it. So that's the end of the climb there. That's the 2Ks done, and go for a nice recovery. It takes about 2 minutes to go back down, and then we come straight back up. So there's no resting at the top, no resting at the bottom, just your 2-minute recovery on the way down, and then straight back into it and start again. So I did some harder efforts and then easier climbs, then harder efforts, then easy ones, and a bit of out the saddle and in the saddle, all that sort of stuff. So anyway, that is it. You got any questions or comments, you can post them down below.